What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Friday. We have made it and I am excited about it. Hope you all are doing great. Hopefully your week was fantastic. Mine was a little bit long, but we here now. We here now. Started from the bottom, now we here for another Friday. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about some college hoops. We're going to talk about USA basketball, who is at camp this week and who is not at camp. And also, we're going to talk about some of the things that Sue Bird had to say. Remember, Sue Bird is the boss lady for USA basketball, at least on the women's side right now. We're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about why in the world was Dawn Staley on stage while Rocky Top was being sung. What in the world is happening on that front? We're going to talk about that as well. Anyway, Quita in the Morning starts now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
All right, let's get into it. So, I'm sure some of you all have been on social media and maybe you have come across a video that made you be like, that's interesting. I wonder what the context is for that. And if you've been on Twitter yesterday, the thing you probably saw that was maybe a little bit slightly confusing is Dawn Staley on stage singing a song that we kind of all should kind of know at this point. If you don't know, let's show it. Right when I go to show it, I got a spinny wheel. Okay, here we go. Woo! Okay, so I saw this on, hopefully y'all heard it. Rocky Top, woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. Okay, so on stage are some familiar faces, right? Some very, very familiar faces when it comes to women's basketball. Of course, you see Holly Rowe. You see Candace Parker on there. You see Andrea Carter. You see Dawn Staley. You see Nikki Fargas. And you may have saw that and wondered, what in the world? I understand Nikki Fargas. I understand Andrea Carter. I understand Candace Parker. They all attended Tennessee. So I understand why they are on stage singing Rocky Top. But Dawn Staley? What in the world? Why is Dawn Staley on stage singing Rocky Top? Now, it's very clear that she didn't want to sing it, and I don't think she actually did sing it. Besides, she did the woo, but I don't think she actually sung it beyond that because, again, she's the head coach of South Carolina. So you all may be wondering, what in the world is going on? Well, yesterday, there was a special presented in Tennessee. It was called Celebrating Pat Summitt live reunion special, and so that's what happened yesterday. And that's when we saw the people that we saw. And if you all are specifically wondering about Dawn Staley, like, okay, yeah, you're honoring Pat Summitt, but why in the world is Dawn specifically on there. I want to show you all a clip of what Dawn had to say back in the past specifically about Pat Summitt, and this is kind of why she's there, right? This is kind of why she's there, why she was there.
When I was at Temple, we couldn't get a top team to play us, besides Rutgers and Tennessee. Those were the only two coaches that really gave us an opportunity because it hurt them more than it would hurt us. I mean, and we were an upcoming program that we could challenge you. We could challenge the top teams in the country. And it didn't make sense for them. So a lot of them said no. But I'll always remember what Coach Vivian Stringer and Coach Pat Summitt did for us. An opportunity to measure ourselves against some of the best, like legendary coaches, and it's also the traditionally rich history of their programs. It allowed me to grow as a coach, and it allowed our program to grow at Temple University.
So that's why. That's why Dawn was there. Dawn Staley was there to honor Pat Summitt because Pat Summitt gave her an opportunity. Gave her and the players at Temple an opportunity to play against some of the best. And as she said, only Pat Summitt and C. Vivian Stringer wanted to play Temple because they weren't a known team, but they were good enough where they could get got, right? The better team could get got. And so Dawn Staley over the years has always said fantastic things about Pat Summitt. And it was kind of cool to see her on stage yesterday. It was very clear that she did not want to go up there and sing. She did not want to sing. There was but they got her in there and whatnot. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that, just continuing to remember the legacy that is Pat Summitt. She truly was a legend. And, it is a large part of how I really, really got into women's basketball. Because I remember watching Tennessee when I was little. I was a massive Tennessee fan. And I was a massive fan in particular, yes, because the players were great. But back in the day, it was all about coaches for me. Right? And watching Pat Summitt on the sideline, the poise, the stare that she had, it was amazing to see. This lady with such a fantastic grasp, not only just on the game of basketball, but on her players, and how she never really lost her cool. Not really, right? She was just such a classy lady that was excellent at her craft. And as a kid, I just thought that was awesome. I was just this lady is super cool. And so, the legacy of Pat Summitt still lives on. Candace Parker is going to continue to talk about the awesomeness of Pat Summitt, because Pat Summitt truly was fantastic. And I wanted to lead with that. Now, of course, we're about to get into Team USA talk. So yes, if you are here specifically to hear about Team USA and Caitlin and Angel and all that good jazz, we're about to get into it. But I did want to start off with just continuing to talk about and honor the GOAT, my favorite coach, Pat Summitt, because she truly was amazing. And in a lot of ways, she knew that women's basketball was going to eventually grow to be as big as it is now, and it's pretty cool to see that sort of transpire when it comes to women's basketball. So shout out to everybody who is continuing to keep the Pat Summitt legacy alive. And if Candace Parker has anything to do with it, I mean, you already know. You already know, because Candace Parker is very serious about her Pat Summitt. Okay. All right, now for what you all have been waiting for, Team USA basketball. Let's talk.
I'm just curious what went into how you selected Kara's assistants. I think it's Nate, it's Natalie Nakase, and Stephanie White.
Yeah, so they're technically court coaches. I'm getting used to all the lingo also. And it's really, the assistants don't get picked or like officially chosen until much closer to the World Cup. So there's a lot of time, a lot of buildup. Some of it is, if you look at past coaching staffs, there's been a mix of WNBA and college. Obviously, this camp is in December. You're not going to get college coaches. That's like likely not going to happen. So luckily, we're able to tap into like what is this like newer crop with Nate and Natalie of WNBA coaches. Of course, Steph's been in the WNBA for a while, but none have had a ton of USA basketball experience. So it's wonderful to get them in. We had a coaches meeting today, and just kind of watching everybody come together and learn, you got to learn the FIBA rules. You got to learn, what it's about, but also being able to showcase themselves as assistants, obviously in support of Kara. So you just want to see like what mix of people is going to be, I guess, the best ultimately for the actual staff.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right. So that was Sue Bird yesterday talking about the assistant coaches or sideline coaches, court coaches, I should say, is the term for it. She had Natalie Nakase, Nate Tibbetts, and Natalie Nakase of the Golden State Valkyries, Nate Tibbetts of the Phoenix Mercury, and Stephanie White of the Indiana Fever. She's totally right. It is very difficult to get any college coaches. I can guarantee you guys, well, almost guarantee, it's a huge likelihood that there will be one assistant coach for the World Cup. Like one assistant coach that is a college coach. One, at least. But for this one, of course, you cannot, well, it's not likely that you're going to get a university to approve their head coach to leave their team for a couple of days to be a court coach for Team USA without a guarantee, really, of them actually making it as a real assistant coach when the World Cup actually comes around. So it makes sense. Makes a lot of sense to me. And Kara Lawson, this is a newer thing for her, right? She's been in Team USA for a long time, like as a coach, right? She spent a lot of time as an assistant coach. She was a head coach for the junior team, and now she's having an opportunity to coach the sort of pros when it comes to Team USA, and the camp is in Durham, North Carolina, which is where Duke is, so it makes sense. And so they're going to have an opportunity, not just the players, but I wanted to start off talking about the coaches. Natalie Nakase, she wants to be in the Team USA system, right? Stephanie White wants to be in the Team USA system. Nate Tibbetts wants to be in the Team USA system. Here's the thing. Team USA is the greatest honor in a lot of ways for women's basketball. It is. Because Team USA is the best of the best. I'm talking back to back to back to back to back to back to back Olympic gold medals. This is a team that is elite. And because of that, they need to make sure that they got elite people playing for them. And if you are selected, you take that as a huge honor. And so we'll see. I don't anticipate all three for these court coaches to actually be an assistant coach. I don't expect that to happen, right? So in a lot of ways, this is an honor, but this is also a proving ground for these coaches too. You have to learn international basketball, which is different. It is different than WNBA or college. It is very, very different. And so, yeah, this is a job interview for Natalie Nakase. This is a job interview for Stephanie White. This is a job interview for Nate Tibbetts. That's very, very important. That is very, very, very important. Now, you guys want to know something else that is very important? Well, at least I hope you all would think that this is important. Well, let's talk about it. That is food, guys. You like that segue? Eating well during the holidays can feel impossible, right? You got a lot of stuff going on, maybe you got a lot of events that you got to go to, and sometimes it may be a lot to take the time and actually cook a meal. That is where my friends at Factor come into play. Factor has chef-prepared, dietitian-approved meals to help me stay balanced and energized through the most indulgent time of the year. Here's the thing, like holidays here, like I have used Factor for what, a year and a half, I think is when I started using Factor. I think it's a fantastic service with some fantastic meals, in my opinion. I think it's really awesome. Factor outperforms other meal kits because unlike meal kits that require prep and cooking, which I did not want to do, I didn't want to do that at all. Factor delivers fully prepared, ready to eat meals in just 2 minutes. Or if you're like me and you have a low-powered microwave, about 2.5 minutes. Because I don't have a very nice microwave. But anyway, lots of variety in the meals. You can choose from a wide selection of weekly meals that include seafood if you are a seafood person, like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. Or if you're like me and you are a big chicken and pork eater, Factor has you covered on that as well. So make sure to check out Factor this holiday season. I like Factor, and I believe you will like it as well. You can eat smart at factormeals.com/Quita50off and use code Quita50off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That is code Quita50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. This is a exclusive holiday offer, so make sure to lock in your savings now before the new year rush. This is only valid to new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. All right. So again, make sure to check out Factor. Again, I like it. I think you will as well. And Factor uses Paige uses Factor too. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's continue on talking about Team USA, because this is not only a great opportunity for these coaches, right? These new coaches who are using this sort of as a job interview. This is also a big deal for the younger players who have been invited to attend camp. Here's what Sue Bird had to say about that.
I'm curious, what do you want to see from them? What do you want from them to take from this experience, knowing they're not all going to make it this round, but this will be a large crux of the future of this team looking farther down the road?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're all hopeful for this first camp is really having it be a tone setter, right? Like, what is it to wear, USA on your chest? What is it to play for this team? What is it to play against other countries and their best, and what those moments are like, whether it's a World Cup qualifier, which we'll get to in March, or, hopefully the gold medal game of a big competition. I think you have to set the tone on day one. Of course, there's a whole other aspect. And by the way, with the tone setting, I'll just elaborate a little bit more. The aggressiveness with which we want to play, how hard we want to play. But then there's also an aspect of, this is Kara's first camp. This is the first time everybody's together. And you also want to have a sense of clarity on, what Identity, we'll use identity. What our identity is going to be, right? And that kind of comes down to the details. How do we want our offense to run? How do we want our defense to run? With the mindset of being open-minded, because depending on who does make final rosters can obviously dictate some of that as well. So there's a lot of moving parts. That's always how it is for USA basketball and lead ups. And I think, to circle back on your question, for the young players, it's just a great opportunity to get their first feel, to get their first taste. And the other beautiful part about USA basketball, this is when the veterans really come alive, right? This is when they can be a huge part of setting that tone, not just the coaches, but those vets. I mean, they've been there, they know what it's like. And with the way that they act, maybe with the way that they can be vocal, they're going to teach the younger players.
All right, so that is what Sue Bird had to say about some of the younger players and older players who are going to be playing for Team USA. This is a proving ground. This is a chance for them to kind of learn the system, learn what's going on, learn what they're supposed to be doing, and maybe some players make it for the actual games. Maybe some don't. This is just a massive, massive proving ground. And I personally am super excited for it. I think it should be fun. And we'll see what happens. Now, I do want to just go through the list of some of the players who are participating this weekend. And so, yeah. It's literally only because I was just trying to find some photos real quick. And yeah, so Aaliyah Boston is a returner. She's not a rookie to the sort of more adult Team USA. But anyway, let's talk about it. There's 10 players who are making their debut for the senior national team, which is like the adult team. And I wanted to talk about them real quick. So we have Lauren Betts, who is participating, Cameron Brink, Paige Bueckers, Veronica Burton, Sonia Citron, Caitlin Clark, Kiki Ira-Afen, Rakia Jackson, Angel Reese, Juju Watkins. So those are some of the players. Those are some of the players who are new and are participating in the senior national team. But if you're like, wait, didn't Angel play for Team USA before? Yes, as on the junior team, basically. All right. So Lauren Betts, Veronica Burton, Rakia Jackson, Angel Reese, they participated in the FIBA AmeriCup. Lauren Betts, Cameron Brink, Sonia Citron, Caitlin Clark, Juju Watkins, they all participated in junior competitions for Team USA. So yes, a lot of these players have done stuff with Team USA before. It's just that being on the senior team with pro players is new for them. All right. And so that's something to note. Okay. That is something to note. But again, we got Kalia Copper overall for the list of people we got. We got Kalia Copper, we got Chelsea Gray, we got Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, De'Erica Hamby, Brianna Jones, and Aaliyah Boston alongside the younger players. And then also Kiki Ira-Afen, I already said Kiki Ira-Afen. But anyway, that's who we have. We'll kind of see how things sort of go on from there. And if you all are wondering, wait, you said the name Juju Watkins. Why is Juju Watkins participating in this? What does Juju Watkins have to gain from participating in this camp? Why is she here? Well, here's what Sue Bird had to say.
Why was it important for y'all to have Juju Watkins in this environment, knowing that, she is not able to really practice or play or participate in drills right now, still recovering? What kind of, I guess, message are you trying to send to her, or what are you trying to expose her to?
I think it's more about the exposure. Honestly, it's kind of segues nice off the Caitlin Clark comment, which is even when you're just around a team, it's helpful. Like something is building, something is happening there. So I think it's great for Juju, who's obviously incredibly talented, still has a couple of years in college. I know she wants to finish that off right. But to get her kind of like used to what the national team is, right? Used to being around these players. And then of course, used to being around the coaching staff. So of course, wishing her the best in her recovery, all those good things. But you never know. People learn by osmosis a lot. And so just to have her in the environment, like, why not?
Why not? Why not? And yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Hey, she's not playing right now for USC anyway. Have her come on down and have her just learn. Have her just see the drills they do. See how different it might be from the junior team and from other experiences that she's had. And so we'll see what happens. And that is to say, not everybody who is invited to camp is actually playing, right? We haven't seen Caitlin play in forever. We don't know exactly what Caitlin's health is. She could be an active participant that's playing, or she could be someone who is watching, similar to Juju Watkins. Same for Angel. Same for a lot of these other players. We don't know the health status of some of these players, but we do know that regardless of if they're ready to play or not, this is a great opportunity. Because, guys, you bet your bottom dollar that Juju Watkins is going to be a core piece going forward for Team USA. Like, it's very clear that's what's going to happen, right? She's going to be a core player, okay? She's going to be a core player. Jason says, are any of the active college players there? Lauren Betts was on the list to be there. Yeah. I haven't seen a photo of Lauren Betts just yet. But she's going to be there. And so, yeah, the camp literally starts today. All right. So they arrived yesterday. And yesterday was an opportunity for interviews and whatnot. And also just shout out to Baller Magazine for those clips from Sue Bird. And if you all want to watch the full thing, she did answer a question about Angel. She answered a question about Caitlin. If y'all want to watch that, I did not want to take all of their content because I think it's some awesome stuff. So shout out to the Ballers Magazine. I got to figure out how I can get on these press conferences. I didn't even know the press conferences was happening until afterwards, and I saw it up, and I was like, oh man, I would have loved to participate in that. Anyway, shout out to Ballers, the magazine, for that. And if you all want to watch it, just go on YouTube and you can watch the full thing. There was also interviews with Sonia Citron. There was interviews with Paige Bueckers and with Veronica Burton as well. And they all said some great stuff, but again, I did not want to take all of that content. Highly recommend you all go on over and check it out. FaZe, I did watch it. Yep. I just didn't want to cover everything. No, Flau'jae is not there. She is not there. All right, perfect. Saw a video of Lauren Betts arriving. Perfect. But yeah, Lauren Betts is the only active, healthy college player who was there. All right. And so I just wanted to see what you all thought about it. I personally think that this is just an exciting time because it's just a reminder that Team USA basketball is right around the corner, guys. They're about to start playing games before we know it. They are prepping. For the FIBA Women's World Cup in September of 2026. That is happening in Berlin, Germany. And so Team USA has won the FIBA Women's World Cup for four times straight. They're trying to win it for the fifth time in 2026. And they're looking to make a roster that can do that because World Cup leads to, getting ready for World Cup, or doing these training camps gets players ready for World Cup, and World Cup gets everybody ready for the Olympics. Okay, and really, the Olympics is the big kahuna on this one. This is just this camp doesn't last long at all. It's from the 12th through the 14th. It's just a weekend camp. That's all it is. It's a weekend camp. All right. It is a weekend camp, which is helpful for Juju and, well, really helpful for Lauren Betts because, you know, she's going to be back soon. She has to go back to her team. And this is good for Kara Lawson, too, because, again, Kara Lawson is an active coach for Duke. And so this is a bit of probably a challenge these next couple of days as she has to, you know, run the U.S. national team and get them, you know, in a good spot. And also get her team and Duke ready to go as well. Also, just so you all are aware, just because players are not there does not mean they were not invited, okay? All right? The purpose is for Team USA to see what they got. Sue Bird is the person that's going to be selecting the players and coaches for this World Cup thing in September. And she needs to see what she has. She needs to see how players play, and like she needs to basically kind of get them in a position where they will be ready to go. And so, yeah, you gotta see what you're working with. You got 10 players who are going to be basically new to the senior national team. And you need to see whether or not they're good enough, whether or not they can hang with Team USA. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. And so that's why camps like this matter, right? And that's why you have so many young players that are going and participating because they want to prove themselves. They want to prove themselves. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Also, guys, before the World Cup takes place in September of 2026, there is going to be a qualifying tournament in March of 2026. And so that's something to note. It doesn't matter as much for Team USA because Team USA already has an automatic berth into the World Cup. And so it doesn't, the March tournament doesn't matter in terms of wins and losses. It doesn't. But it's going to be another proving ground. The World Cup qualifying tournament is going to be from March the 11th through March 17th in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So if y'all want to watch Team USA play and you want to go somewhere warm, you might want to check out Puerto Rico in March to watch the World Cup qualifying tournament. We're going to see We're going to see Team USA play Italy, New Zealand, Puerto Rico, Senegal, and Spain. All right. So that's happening in March of 2026, the World Cup qualifying tournament, which Team USA does not need to win because they've already qualified for the World Cup. So this training camp is going to determine who makes the March team, and March team performance will help to determine who makes the actual World Cup team in September. Hopefully that all makes sense. If you all have clarifying questions, just let me know. I'm happy to answer any of those questions. And another thing that I am very much happy to do is I am happy to talk about the awesomeness of Shopify. When I started this channel, 2.5 years ago, getting close to 3 years ago, I had to figure out, everything basically on my own, right? You got to make your scripts. You got to do your setup. You got to figure out a filming schedule. You got to figure out a logo. You got to figure out a whole bunch of stuff. Like it can get very, very overwhelming. And when it came to deciding, yes, I want to do merch, that was overwhelming as well. And so I had to find a partner to help me get my online store in order. And Shopify was the source to do that. You can accelerate your online business with Shopify because millions, including myself, have used Shopify to great effects. Okay, Shopify allows you to accelerate your content creation with. They have like all companies now. They have a very helpful AI tool that can help you write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. You can get the word out like you have a marketing team, which I do not have, right? You can get the word out easily with Shopify by creating email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling with Shopify. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing, returns, and beyond. If you are ready to sell, you are ready for Shopify. Now, this is coming from someone who actually uses the product. I think it's fantastic. I always want to make sure that I'm promoting stuff that is actually very useful and I personally like. And Shopify is one of those businesses. So make sure to turn your big business idea into ka-ching money with Shopify. Shopify has your back and they are with you all the way. You can sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/allcity. That is ALLCITY. Again, shopify.com/allcity. Shopify.com/allcity. Ka-ching. Make sure to get your business up and running the right way with Shopify. All right. Now let's continue. Nope. There we go. Let's continue to talk about Team USA and get you all's last minute comments and whatnot, and then we will move on to college basketball, where there's some not so good news, especially if you are a Notre Dame fan, but some fantastic news if you are a DePaul fan. Shout out to DePaul. Anyway, we're going to get to that in just a sec. But first, let's get to you all's comments. We got JME says, I'm eager to watch Unrivaled. Yes, Unrivaled is going to be awesome. Cannot wait for that. Carmela says, Pat and old school Lady Vols was it. It was. I was a massive fan. I was a massive fan. And again, the players are great. The players come and go. For college, it's about the coach. And she was special. She was special. All right, what else do you all have to say? Why are we talking about captains? Mariette says, Paige isn't going to be a captain. This is literally her first senior camp. She's also best used as a shooting guard. Yeah, I don't believe that this camp is determining any captains at all. No, 0 captains have been announced. As far as I'm aware, no captains have been announced. All right. And so, yeah, I don't understand the captains talk, but no, even if they were choosing captains, why would a player in their first year, why would she would she be a captain? I don't understand why that would happen. I don't get it. Okay. Not Your Average 10K says Chelsea is making the team whether you like it or not. I'm gonna just say I would not guarantee that. Here's the thing. There are certain players that are not participating. Certain players that are not participating in this camp because they have other things that they're doing. They just don't want to go, whatever. The people, especially the senior players who have experience with the senior U.S. national team, they're there because I think they feel like they need to be there. Here's the deal. Chelsea Gray is fighting for a spot for Team USA. Yes, she has had a long, illustrious career with, she's had a really good career with Team USA. Right? She's a good player. She's not a lock at all. At all. Now, yes, you do have some players like who are returning, right? Kalia Copper, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, right? Chelsea Gray. None of these players are guaranteed to make the team. None of them. None of them are guaranteed to make it. Right? De'Erica Hamby won with the 3x3 team. She's not guaranteed to make the senior 5-on-5 team for the World Cup. That's not a guarantee. Brianna Jones has had some experience with the World Cup. She was on the 2022 FIBA World Cup team. That does not mean that she's going to make the 2026 FIBA World Cup team. Doesn't mean that. You know, Aaliyah Boston has had a lot of experience with Team USA. That doesn't mean does not mean at all that she's going to make this team. At all. And so, yeah, just because they have experience does not mean they're going to be on the team. They are fighting for a spot just like those other 10 players that are new are fighting for a spot. All right, so I would not say anybody is a lock. Besides, I think Asia Wilson's a lock, right? I think Caitlin Clark is a lock. I think actually those two are probably the guarantee locks, right? I think those two are the guarantee locks. Everybody else, who knows? Everybody else has to prove themselves, okay? That's my opinion. That's my opinion. All right. What is y'all opinion? Let me know. But yeah, I think those are the only guarantee locks. And then I would also say Alyssa Thomas if she actually wants to participate again. All right. Not your average 10K says, I said that because they are hating on Chelsea, calling her washed. Chelsea Gray is not washed. Dog. She's not. Now, early in the season this year, she did not look good at all. But she got herself in order. It was like y'all, my brain thinks in songs. Like literally when I said she got herself in order, it was, y'all know the song, Get Your House in Order. Oh, do it today. Is a Dottie People song. Get your house in order. Do it right away. And that's what Chelsea Gray did in the middle of the season. And she got herself in order. Okay. And then she got back to playing like the point guard we know that she can be. Okay. But yeah, at the beginning of the season, yeah, she was not very good. But she did get herself in order. She got to get herself together because she got someplace to go. She praying when she get there, she'll meet everyone she knows. She wants to go to the World Cup. She wants to go to the World Cup. Oh my God, I am so lame. It's so awesome. Okay. It's Peculiar says, we got you. We know it, Quita. Okay. Jessica says, I love it when Quita gets churchy. Oh man. All right, let's see. We're gonna get to a couple more comments and then we're gonna move on, okay? I know. I can't sing. I know. But I feel it in my heart. Oh, man. I feel it in my heart. Okay. Let's see. Mr. SC says, you want to say Angel Reese is a lock. I mean, yeah, it'd be great to say that. I don't think she is. That's why I didn't say her. Like, I think Asia is a lock because, again, she's literally the best player in the world. Hands down. Show me a player better than her. Show me a women's basketball player better than her. Like, you just can't. She's the best. And you got to put her on there. And then Caitlin, because Caitlin is the future of Team USA. Like, she's like the point guard who's going to be, or she's the point guard who's going to be giving these players the basketball, right? And I'm pretty sure Team USA, they thought back about what they did with the Olympics and not having her on the team, and they're putting her on the team. Like, there's no way. Another player that's probably also close to a lock, if not a lock, is probably Paige, right? Because again, I think she is like the future of Team USA in terms of guards. It's Caitlin, it's Paige, it's Juju. Now, again, y'all probably disagree with me, and that's okay. But to me, I think that's the future. I think that's the future of Team USA in terms of the various skill sets that they offer, the passing ability, the shooting ability, and so yeah. Because Juju's not healthy. If Juju was healthy, I could absolutely see her making the team as well. If Juju was healthy, and it would be because the future for the next Olympics, in my opinion, Paige, Caitlin, Juju. Right? For the guards. For the posts, I mean, it's Asia until Asia wants to stop playing. It's, it's Sarah Strong because Sarah Strong is absolutely amazing. I would argue it is going to be Angel Reese because Angel Reese is fantastic, and can literally be not only the rebounder for the team, the defensive stopper, and also she's working on her range, right? And then Lauren Betts is a player that I also think is going to have a really, really critical role for Team USA in the future. So I think some of those. So those are some of the players that I think when I think of Team USA, 3, 4, 5 years from now, I got to talk about it. And then, yeah, of course, Leah Boston. All right. Levy says you're really going to disrespect Stewie like that. I'm not trying to disrespect Stewie, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, I think those players I just named are the future. So, yeah. But yeah, anybody can get got for Team USA. hey, who knows who's actually going to make it? But I do think we know some people who are pretty much guaranteed to make it. All right? So I'm just saying. Not everybody who is good makes Team USA. Not everybody. Which is why Nneka Ogwumike and Arike Ogunbowale felt a type of way, right? They felt a type of way because they weren't included in USA basketball. And yes, absolutely, you could have 100% made the argument for them. But at the same time, there's so many amazing players, which is why if players have opportunities to play for another country, you have more chances of not only making the team, but also being a star somewhere else. So I'm just saying. Anyway, let's officially move on. And again, guys, I want to reiterate because I feel like sometimes people, they get really sensitive in what is said. To be clear, I don't dislike any player. If just because I don't want to just because I don't say that a player is a lock for being on Team USA, does not mean that Quita doesn't like Sonia Citron or Kiki Irafin because she said they weren't going to be a lock for making the World Cup team. Dog, I say my opinions based on just watching a bunch of women's hoops. You all may watch just as much women's hoops as I do and disagree. That is okay. That does not mean either one of us hates a certain player or severely dislikes a certain player. It's just an opinion. That's all it is, okay? All right, and so I'm just saying that because it feels like every single time I say something that someone disagrees with, it's I hate this person or I'm bought and paid for by somebody. And it's just like, what? like what are we doing here? Why do we always have to make everything so dramatic and so terrible? Why? I don't know. Yeah, not everything is dramatic. That's what I gotta say. All right. I hope y'all are in agreement with me on that. That people can say something you don't like without you going bat crazy. Okay. Okay. So yeah. Now I do want to transition us to talk about some college hoops, because yes, we spent a lot of time talking about Team USA and whatnot, but there is some very, very, very sad news that I do want to talk about, and it involves KK Bransford. Guys, I don't know if you all know her. Well, I mean, you should. I feel like you should know her. But KK Bransford with Notre Dame. Yesterday it was a huge bummer to see her get hurt. I forgot what quarter it happened at, but I watched it and I saw the play. She was running down with the basketball, and then truly, I don't know how that injury occurred. I watched it several times on replay. Like, what? Like, she was running down, and then all of a sudden it was a non-contact injury. But I don't even know how to describe exactly how she fell. But it was just bad. It was really, really bad. And I feel so horrible for KK Bransford. She, got hurt, was out for the rest of the game, and I think this is just going to be a huge loss for Notre Dame, because Notre Dame is not a deep team at all. Not a deep team. And now they are, now they're even worse. A thing to note, guys, about her injury yesterday, she did end up returning back to the sideline for Notre Dame yesterday. She did have crutches. She did have a wrap on her right knee. So it was definitely a right leg injury, but it was, watching it in real time, it was the oddest looking injury I've seen in a while. It was very, very odd how that injury occurred. And again, it was non-contact. So she's on crutches. Again, non-contact injuries are usually really, really bad injuries. And so prayers up for KK Bransford. Really, really terrible news for her. And yeah, so yes, Notre Dame wins pretty easily against Morehead State yesterday, 97-48. But absolutely praying for KK Bransford that she is able to, heal up the right way. Like, I don't know if this is season ending. I don't know if this is just a couple months, but it did look really, really bad. So I did want to just share that with you all. And then once again, we did see Hannah lead the squad again, 26 points, 11 rebounds for her. Also, Kassan Prosper played really well as well. 20 points, 13 rebounds for Kassan. All right, so that's sort of the news there. I wanted to just quickly let you all know that information. There was also some other games that happened yesterday as well. Oklahoma easily took down Little Rock 103-48. That game was, as to be expected in a lot of ways in terms of this victory. We also saw Ohio State take down Northern Kentucky. Final score of that game was 94-62. There was another game I wanted to talk about real quick, and that involved my local team, DePaul. So yesterday, DePaul, and I was seriously thinking about going to this game, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go. I actually really wish I did, because I would have loved to ask a question in the post-game presser. DePaul took down UMass Lowell 78-48. And so you may be like, okay, why do I care about DePaul winning the game? Well, I gotta talk about what happened in that game, because in that game we saw a offensive performance that is in a lot of ways historic for DePaul. Yesterday we saw Kate Novick end up getting a triple-double, guys. Triple-double in the game. Here, let me pull up her photo so you all can know what she looks like. She's a really good player. I actually really like her. But triple-double for Kate Novick yesterday, and I just gotta give DePaul a shout out, because y'all know I have been going to DePaul games actually for a while now. But now I'm credentialed, and so that's great. And so that's even more helpful. But Kate Novick was absolutely spectacular yesterday. I just want to go through her stat line real quick. This was her first triple-double ever in college, and she had 12 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists for Kate Novick. This is the 8th triple-double ever in DePaul history. Here's the thing. Triple-doubles are not super, super common. Like, it's a thing that players can get, and it happens, right? It's happening actually now more than ever, but it's not one of those things that is that happens every day. And so when a player gets a triple-double, I think it's very important for us to talk about it, okay? So again, shout out to Kate Novick for that. She did her thing yesterday, and we also saw Michelle Ojo do her thing off the bench for DePaul. She ended up having 20 points and 7 rebounds. But hey, dog, shout out to Kate, and shout out to her triple doubles for doing her thing. It's a stat line that doesn't happen all the time, and so when it happens, we got to talk about it. And also, shout out to DePaul. All right, I hope to be back in person at their games soon. All right, guys, that is your women's basketball update. For Friday, December the 12th. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. If y'all could, make sure to rock out with me, okay? Make sure to rock out with me by hitting that like button. Some changes coming to the channel in January. So heads up on that. But I think there are going to be changes that you all will like. Or at least, fingers crossed. I hope you like. I mean, we'll see. We will absolutely see. Anything else before we head out? Anything? JME says highlighting ballers is also a great thing. Yeah, people are hooping. People are absolutely hooping out there, and we got to talk about it, okay? Yeah, man. A couple things to look out for today. We have, well, not really today. But this weekend, we do have Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. We also have UConn versus USC. All right. And so make sure to check that out. I probably will be live for that game. I'll probably do a live watch and talk for that game. So hopefully y'all will hang out with me for that. That is happening tomorrow at 4:30 Central Time, UConn versus USC. Okay? Southern Cal, USC. But we also have Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State, which is going to be a really, really fun game as well. Unfortunately, though, those games overlap, and so you have to choose one or the other. All right? Again, thank y'all so much for watching. Hit that like button, and I will see y'all in the next one. Yeah, again, make sure you hit that like button. The goal is to always get to 100 likes before the stream is over. Tisha says, I am just ready for the in-conference SEC showdown to begin. That is the most fiery competitive conference. Yeah. Hey, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Nope, I'm not going to Galen. Nope. It'll be nice though. But no. I will see y'all in the next one. Until tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.
Are you ready?
Ready, set, go.